Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Absolutely Not podcast. I'm your host, Heather McMahan. Hope you're having a beautiful summer day. I am very thrilled to have one of my favorite people in the world in studio. She is the most requested guest we've ever had, period. Y'all wanted to catch up with the Little Red Robin, so here she is. Please, without further ado, welcome to the studio. She's 77, she's feisty, and she's crazy. Robin McMahan, my mom.
Heather, please don't give my age away. But that's okay. That's okay. I love you.
Mom, you would give somebody my height and weight in a second.
Probably.
So
probably.
let's not even
okay,
pretend.
Let's not pretend.
I'm wearing the same black dress that I have worn probably 100 days this summer. It's from Kos. It's a Swedish brand, I believe.
It looks great on you.
Well, I bought it in Italy, and it barely touches my body, and I don't have to wear a bra, and it's very cool. So I wore that. You were dressed like a representative from J. Crew Corporate. And what is the pin that you have on your blazer?
The pin that I have on my blazer is when you had a show in Charleston.
Yes.
And I got the little pin. So it looks good with what I have on.
It does. It's from the Charleston Music Hall. Shout out to
right.
Charleston, one of my favorite cities. We miss you. Robin, we are in the middle of summer. I am about to leave to go to Europe. I'm hitting Portugal. You just came back from Portugal. There's just so much that we have to catch up on. We haven't heard from you in a minute, even though I hear from you every moment of every day because you're up my ass.
But you don't listen to me, Heather.
You don't listen to me, Mom.
Oh, Heather, get over it.
There you go. And that is trauma. Anyways, Mom, what have you been up to?
I have just got back from Portugal, had a wonderful time.
Okay.
Met a great group of women that I travel with.
Yeah, can you break down this group that you travel with?
Well, it's 55 and over.
Okay.
And Lorna, who I love, who is a big fan of yours, I met her at Hen Mother.
Uh-huh.
And she put together this group, and I'll tell you, the women are fantastic.
I mean, I'm really proud of you. You've been on two pretty epic trips right now. Last year, y'all went to Ireland.
Yes, had a ball.
And then you just went to Portugal.
Yes.
Want to break down the Portuguese situation because you wore a hat that it's now an infamous hat.
My egg hat, it was free. It matched my head. And it was fine.
How did it match your head?
Well, it covered up a bad hair day.
But that means you were there for 20 days. You had a bad hair day for 20 days. Mom, this is what's wild. And I know that Ashley and I pick this up from you. We have the capability of being wildly glamorous. But when we choose to
then
not
we're
let
a troll under a tree. I know, I get it.
Yes, I would say bridge, but I like that your troll is under a tree. But I don't understand. Well, you were going to Europe trolling for dick, and yet you decided to wear an egg hat everywhere. How did you think this was going to set you up for success?
Heather, I thought it was cute. Once I got to Portugal, I'm going to tell you something right up front. Anybody that was short was from Portugal.
Okay.
Anybody that was tall was from Europe, someplace else. So the hat was appropriate.
Wait. That makes no sense.
Heather, I didn't see anybody. The hat was appropriate for me to wear.
But don't you think had you put your best foot forward, it's like the law of attraction. You might have been attracting maybe some other European men of taller descent. Because I think she's being very biased towards Portuguese men.
No, they were cute. They were very nice, but they were very short.
And you're what, in the WNBA? Mom, you're like 5'4".
5'4.5".
Okay. Yes. You're a pipsqueak. What are you looking for, LeBron James? She's looking to dip into the chocolate,
him tall,
I see.
dark, and handsome.
She sure does. Oh, okay. I do believe LeBron is married, but you would make a cute couple. Okay, so you went to Portugal on this ladies' trip, and you guys have another trip coming up. You're going to Sicily and Amalfi Coast.
Yes, I can't wait for that. That's going to be great.
Are you going to show up to Italy in the fall with the same energy that you showed up to Portugal with?
I hope so. I had a great time.
I mean looking for love, Mom, because I am exhausted. We have been talking about your love journey for 5 years.
Heather, I don't know where they are. They're hiding under a rock.
I'll tell you where they're not. They're not at TJ Maxx on a Saturday in a suburb of Georgia.
Yeah,
they're not
definitely not TJ Maxx.
They're not at a Home Goods that you're at probably I would say you clock 40 hours, a full work week at a Home Goods, and you don't work there.
I don't work there, but every time I go in there, the lady that runs the place, I know she wants to hire me.
Yeah.
Because I know where everything is.
Yeah, and I think you would be fantastic there. But I think unless you're starting, you got to believe in the law of attraction and manifestation. You got to show up you got to set the scene. If you show up to the Amalfi Coast and you're sucking down pasta vongole and that's what clams, you wouldn't eat that.
I wouldn't eat that.
Like spaghetti limone. If you're eating lemon spaghetti and you're not showing up with a nice blowout, how do you expect someone to talk to you?
I have a great personality.
No one can see it under the hat.
It doesn't matter, Heather. There wasn't anyone there to see me in the hat.
I don't think you were looking up, Mom.
No,
I think you had the hat down. You already have one bad cataract, so you can't. You only have one working eye. So if the hat is pushing your red bangs into your working eye, how are you supposed to look up and see the world?
I don't know, Heather. I don't know where these people are. I'm going to tell you a funny story.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so you know I'm on Bumble for life. Have I been on a date on Bumble? No. Mm-hmm. What I'm looking for.
Whoa,
I'm getting all excited about this because every day I go on AI Hot Guys.
Wait,
and
what does that mean?
On YouTube, you should try it. They're gorgeous, and I pick one out. They're not real, of course.
Wait, hold on. You got to back up step by step, Mom.
Okay.
No one is in your brain the way you're in your brain.
Right.
You get on YouTube in the morning.
I get on YouTube
and
in the morning.
Search artificial intelligent hot guys. Oh, Tina has one pulled up.
Yes. Oh, and
hot.
Is he not gorgeous? Yes, he's gorgeous. So I pick one out for the day. Like, that's mine for the day. That's what I'm looking at. But what's looking at me is not that.
Okay, well, that's like men who are addicted to porn, Mom. They then can't have healthy sexual relationships because they think every woman has a bald kitty and, knows how to do the twirls and hang from a chandelier. That's why we have like a lonely male epidemic here in the United States. It's like men don't know how to socialize with real women because they just look at AI robots online and jerk off to them.
Oh, God.
Is that what we're dealing with? Are we dealing with an AI
but I want
addiction?
I want someone cute. I don't want someone that looks like my great-grandfather.
Mom, but that's unhealthy. You're looking at art. They're not real. So you're not, again, setting yourself up for success because you're looking for something that doesn't actually exist. You know what I suggest you do? Go see the new Formula One, the F1 movie. Brad Pitt looks really good. He had the right amount of work done. He looks good.
Well, he's 60.
And Javier Bardem looks good.
Oh,
he is
wow.
married to Penelope Cruz. But regardless, a woman can lust from afar. So you're looking at AI porn in the morning, and then you're immediately getting disappointed when you open the apps and have to have a real human-to-human connection.
Yes. You look at them and you say, oh, God, help me. And why do these guys, well, everybody knows these men take photos of themselves in the bathroom with their underwear hanging, or they're holding a fish.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of a funny story. There was a guy on there, much too young for me. He was in his early 50s. And he was definitely my type. But in his bio, he said he wanted intimacy with no commitment. Well, that is a red flag.
Yeah, he just wants to go to Pound Town.
He wants to go to Pound Town. So I decided to text him. And yes, I did.
Going into shark-infested waters,
Yes,
trying not to get bit.
Yeah, I texted him. Let's call him Bob. I said, Bob, I think you're probably a really nice guy.
I don't think so.
I think you're probably a nice guy. You're probably a great guy. But who in God's name do you think you're going to meet with intimacy with no commitment? Nobody you want to bring home to your mother.
Well, his mother's dead, Mom. He's 55. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. The point that I was trying to make is you're not going to meet a quality woman. Certainly you're not going to meet someone like me. And I said, please don't take this
the wrong way. Trying to soften the blow when you should have just been like, you're a fuck boy. Deuces.
No. So he texted me back. He said, thank you. He said, I just got over a divorce. I don't know what I want. He redid his whole bio. He's on there now. He's really cute. He's on there now, and he doesn't have intimacy without commitment. He said he wasn't sure what he was looking for.
I mean, he probably, listen, he got out of a nasty divorce.
Probably.
You know, again, he's looking at AI porn in the morning just like you.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe Bob does. He needs a redemption story. Here, hold my hand, Mom. I want you to hold my hand.
Yes.
A wonderful quality that I got from you that cripples me and cripples you is we think we can fix
everybody.
We can't. I've had to learn that in friendships. I've had to learn that in other relationships.
I know.
You can't fix everybody. You have to look out for your own best interest.
I do.
I don't know how to tell you this. You're cruising for men, but you immediately go, you're too young for me, but I could set you up with my friend. And that's not.
Yes, I do.
That's not a
that.
bad quality, Mom. That's a great quality because we always love the more the merrier. We love to be like, hey, I got somebody, share. That's our thing.
Yep.
And it comes from a genuine place. But at some point, you're going to lose yourself if you don't also then try and do something for yourself.
Yeah, I'm looking in all the wrong places. Heather.
I agree.
One of the guys that I went on a date with.
But was not from Bumble. It was a mutual. It was a situation.
It was a situation.
Okay.
I knew this guy from the moment I met him. He was cheap. That is one thing that will turn me off. Because
I wonder if the men would say the same about you because Robin McMahon could be. It's not Robin McMahon. It's Robin McFrugal. Okay.
No, I think I'm smart when it comes to money.
You don't spend it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I want value for whatever I get. But I knew this guy was cheap because when we walked in to go get coffee, he said, am I paying for it or is he? And I looked at him and said, I can buy you a cup of coffee. I thought, what an idiot.
You had to buy him a cup of coffee?
Yes.
And then what happened?
Then he asked me all these crazy questions. Can you imagine? I just met him, and he asked me when was the last time I had sex. And I looked at him like, are you out of your mind?
And what was your response?
I said, none of your goddamn business.
Period. And see, if had I been there, that Frappuccino would have gone on his head.
Yeah, it almost did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he proceeded to tell me he hadn't had sex in a year. So where was it? I just met you.
You're like, do you take creamer?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can we have a cookie here?
Yeah, you're like, so.
I need to dunk it. Really.
Okay.
And I paid for his damn coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. You said something that also, and I'm not here to lecture you, Mom. You already screamed at me in the car that I haven't said a compliment in a minute. Yes. I apologize. You're beautiful. You're my mom.
You.
I love you.
Thank
You're full of light and joy, and when you really come alive on the cameras. But people don't see the dark truth of when the cameras aren't rolling. How she beats me and yells at me.
Oh, I do not.
Mom, I walked in the house yesterday from a doctor's appointment. That was important. And you started screaming at me about booking a wallpaper guy.
Yes.
Okay, but can I walk in the house and not get berated like I'm 13?
You know what I think we need to do, Heather? I need to make
go.
a list, and then you cross it off the list.
Mom, all my lists are on my, you know what? I have wallpaper guy in my list.
Okay.
But that is not the top of my priority, but I'll get that done.
Thank you.
Make a list. Write a list. We, with our ADHD, have to be list people.
Yes, we are list people.
But you said you're a Bumble lifetimer. But I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, Bumble's not where it's at.
You get angry. You have one AI robot respond to you, or you realize you're getting scammed. You delete Bumble, therefore your profile goes away, and then you have to start from scratch, and you put up horrible selfies. So I cannot curate your Bumble profile
Heather,
any more times.
I don't think you're going to meet somebody on Bumble. I mean, it's not working for me. It's going to have to be through a friend.
I think where you would meet someone, I really want to plan a trip. I think you need to go to the northern coast of Spain, do a little San Sebastian. I just watched an episode of Somebody Feeds Phil. He's up in San Sebastian. And let me tell you what.
I love
we love tapas.
Yes, we do.
We love tapas. You love wine.
Yes.
You love Spanish men. Daddy looked like a Spaniard or a Latino, like he had that Latin vibe. You need to go to Spain. I think you just need to go there maybe in the off season when everyone's in a nice cashmere sweater drinking Rioja outside. I think that's where you're going to thrive.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. They're definitely not at Ross for Less.
No, Mom. And I keep telling you that.
I know.
You got to get out. I
Yeah.
also think we should rent a house in Nantucket for 2 weeks in the summer or something. You're going to meet higher quality people when you go out and live your life.
Yeah.
But you also have, Mom, you could literally afford to get on a Ritz-Carlton cruise tomorrow, but you don't do it. And I can't hold your hand to do it. We're having a hard truth conversation. You can do all the things. You have the money to do it.
But on the Ritz-Carlton cruises, don't they go as couples?
Mom, I just mean that as an example. Yeah. You have the financial means to go do the things and be in the places. I understand it's scary because you don't want to do it alone. I'm happy to go with you as many.
That doesn't bother me to be by myself.
Okay, but you don't do anything. So you sit in our suburb and you go to Ross for Less and you hit the same country club with the same 4 barflies that are all like fucking old and crazy, and you expect. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
And over. You're right.
And expecting different results.
You're right. Okay, so let's move forward.
Okay. Deflect.
Deflect.
What
do you want to do, Heather? Hang me?
I'm not trying to hang you. I'm just saying.
You're right.
Maybe on a public platform, some folks can back me up here.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
And you're always yelling at me what I wear when I go out. I think I look cute.
Mom,
think I
you
look
look fantastic today. The cowlick is tamed. You look great. But we had to put some effort in. You even go up to the club with the damn egg hat on. Shout out to Vital Farms.
We love Vital Farms.
We love Vital Farms. So what
they have the best butter.
They do have great butter.
They
have great butter.
Yes.
We are very pro Vital Farms butter.
Yes, that's
great
the only
eggs.
butter I will buy.
Period. Let's get back to the egg hat and the Portugal trip.
All right.
When you put the egg hat on, did you feel like you were Sherlock Holmes? Did it give you a different personality?
Heather, I thought I looked fine. I was covering up my cowlick. And
your cowlick?
How do you say
cowlick?
Cowlick. I was covering it up. I thought I looked fine. And then you kept making fun of me.
Mm-hmm. That's my job.
And everybody thought it was a joke after a while.
Every single person on that trip who had my number texted me 3 times a day. The egg hat. She's
it's on.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world was Robin? It was like you coming out of a Zara in the egg hat. You going into an H&M.
Yes.
You eating a pastry. You having a cappuccino. You having a grilled fish.
Yeah.
And some white wine.
Yeah, then I just liked the egg hat. It was comfortable, it fit my head good, and I thought I looked cute.
But let's break down the psychology of why you wore the egg hat. Because you have undiagnosed ADHD and anxiety. And you texted me, you said, it's so people can find me. Because you got anxious, you were going to get lost.
Heather,
I'm just saying.
No, let's get the record straight. Everybody thought I do just fine.
But everybody thought what?
Lorna thought I would get lost. I said, as long as I can find a Zara, you'll find me.
That is true. You know, if you ever lose a wallet and you turn it into like a hotel concierge or a police station, if you ever lose Robin McMahon,
find me at Zara.
Find her at Zara.
Yeah.
And specifically a European Zara. And even if you lose her in the state of Alabama, I want you to get on an international flight, fly to Cairo, and she'll be at the Zara.
I'll be at the Zara, right. And there's some great Zaras in Portugal. You're going to have a great time.
Give me some pros and cons of the trip so I know what to look forward to.
The food in Portugal, fabulous.
All right.
Absolutely fabulous. A piece of sea bass that you'd probably pay $35 here in Portugal will be $5, and it is delicious.
$5 sea bass, period.
And it's wonderful.
Okay.
The wine is great. The people are really nice. Short, but really nice.
Okay.
We did a lot. We moved around a lot to different hotels, and everywhere you look, there were gorgeous tiles.
Like on the streets or in the buildings?
They were both, on the streets and the buildings. I had the best time. I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Great. What were the cons? Other than everyone was apparently a little person.
Yeah, they were small. I can't really give you a con.
Losing power.
Yeah.
Oh, we did lose power.
Talk about the blackout, Robin.
Yeah, and I was like on the 10th floor. So I had
What
to,
was the blackout? You got to explain what happened.
The blackout was something that happened in Europe. So
The grid went down.
The grid went down.
Do we think this was a
Who
some
knows?
sort of terrorism, or just it got too hot in Portugal and shit
Could have
shut
got
down?
too hot in Portugal, but it also happened in Spain and France too. So I don't know what's going on. You know, my neighbor who sends me every conspiracy under the sun. I used to think she was cuckoo. Now she jogs by the house and she'll say, "Remember when I told you this?" Now I would say to her, I'm not going to mention her name, but you know who you are.
She does not listen to this podcast,
No,
and
but she might.
I would also say she is still fucking nuts. Continue.
All right. Well, now if somebody said there are pink pigs flying outside my backyard and nose diving at the dogs, I would say you're probably right.
Listen, I was taking the dogs out in the middle of the night one time, not too long ago, and I saw the weird flying drones. There was one in our neighborhood. So
Really?
I'm just saying. But either way, the grid went down. You lost power in Europe.
Right. And I had to go up and down the stairs. It was 10 flights. I made it all the way up there. A little shout out to anybody who travels in Europe. Look, make sure you get your suitcase with wheels on it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can't lift it, damn it, you don't need to pack all that crap.
Mom, we know that you wore the same outfit.
I looked good
You bought a sweatshirt that said Portugal on it.
because I was cold.
Mom, you packed 16 cute outfits and you wore a Portuguese you were representing the national soccer team
Yeah,
with
probably.
your sweatshirt and an egg hat.
Yeah.
So you wonder why no one approached you. They thought you were an old man. You have short red hair. You were wearing an egg hat and a men's sweatshirt.
Well, Heather, the guys only came up to my chest, so they couldn't see.
Mom,
my
at this
face.
point, beggars can't be choosers.
God.
You could stand a short king. Okay? Do you know that we call short men short kings?
I didn't know
because
that.
a lot of them are very loyal and they can do
Well,
it.
they can touch everything at the same time.
There you go. There you go.
My old roommate said she loves short guys. She said, Robin, they can touch everything at the same time.
Who is your old roommate?
Dottie.
Oh, Dottie.
Yeah.
Mom, you're whispering like, is Dottie still with us?
Yes, she is.
Oh.
She's like 98. Oh, God. Hopefully she's not listening to this.
Oh, my God. Mom, you lived with a woman named Dottie.
Yep. When we worked for the airlines, we had a good time.
Talk about your airline days. People don't fully understand how you met Dad and what you were doing for the airlines. They all think that Dad flew for Delta. I don't know how many
No.
times I have to tell them he did not. My dad never flew commercially.
No. Daddy worked for Eastern because at the time, Delta, I don't know if they still have it, they had the nepotism rule where you couldn't have a relative work for the same company. So Daddy was working for Eastern when he was in college throwing the bags, but then they were moving him around because they had big plans for him to learn from Eastern. So when Papa retired, Daddy could move over to Delta.
Got it.
So anyway, I met Dad. I was working in the baggage service office where everybody yells at you because you lost their bag. And he came out to introduce himself. And I thought, oh, he was good to talk to.
What did he look like when you first saw him?
I paid no attention. I just liked his personality. He had dark hair and dark eyes. The next
Did he have an
day-
egg hat on?
Shut up, Heather. The next day, I called him and said, hey, you were fun to talk to. Let's go have lunch. And he said when he walked away from me, he said, I'm going to marry her. Now, ladies, let me tell you something. A man knows immediately if you're the one for him. With women, it takes us a while. You have to kind of prove yourself.
Well, I said that when Jeff walked in the bar. I immediately said, that's who I'm going to marry.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And I know I've said this before, but we're going to talk about it again. Every woman wants a PRP.
No, Mom.
Yes, you
Mom,
do.
Mom, stop. I love you. You got to stop with this. This is like archaic.
It's not
What's
archaic.
a PRP, Mom? That's that's a laser
No,
you put on your
no.
facial to get rid of melasma.
It is not. PRP is a man that will protect you, a man that a woman can respect,
Yes.
and a provider. He doesn't have to be a sugar daddy, but you know that he's going to take care of you.
Yes. Okay, great.
That's what I'm looking for.
I also agree with that. But also, Mom, you're at the age where you need to be just looking for a PRP, a penis, somebody who you don't have to resuscitate, and somebody who likes to, I don't know, play the piano or drink Pinot Grigio.
Oh, that's
you
a
don't
good
need a
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
You don't need.
And has a penis that works.
Yeah. So a penis pump, do not resuscitate, and a Pinot Noir. That's what your PRP is.
I love it.
You don't need, and I hear you,
Yes.
obviously you want to be in a relationship where there's mutual respect.
Yes, exactly.
But let's get back to Dad. So you call him.
Yeah, so I called him and I said, come on, you were fun to talk to. And we went to lunch and we got along great. So that was it. And one day I kind of looked at, and I said to Daddy right up front, I said, I'm not like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, if you're looking for a one-night stand, honey, it's not me.
Were you like, I'm not like everybody else, and then slowly pulled out the egg hat in your purse? You're like, I'm allergic to eggs, but I wear this hat all the time,
all the time.
to cover my cowlick.
Oh, shut up.
All right. But you have very romantic stories about Dad that I think our listeners would like.
Well, I don't know if it would go over today, but I went out with him probably 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and took all my clothes from my apartment, brought them to his house, and said, if you want a clean uniform, he said, you have to come to my house because you belong to me now.
Mm-hmm. In 2025, that I would blow a rape whistle.
Yeah.
I would blow the whistle that's on my keys that Jeff gave me in case I'm ever in a parking lot and someone is getting too close.
Yeah.
That would be a red flag, sound the alarm. But knowing Dad and knowing how genuine Dad
great,
was,
yeah.
that is one of the most romantic things I've ever heard in my life.
That was really good.
So when you got that call, though, and he said, if you want a clean uniform, you got to come to my apartment, what was your initial thought?
No, he came up to me. I was working. He said, you want a clean uniform, you're coming home with me today.
And did you say, how did you get into my apartment?
Dottie let him in. And
Dottie, the whore.
Yeah, she let him in. He
Okay.
took everything and moved me in with him. Said, you belong to me now.
You belong to me now.
Yes.
And he was 11 years younger.
Yes.
And you at no point thought this is a young college
No.
guy?
No, I didn't because he was very mature.
Mm-hmm.
He was sweet. He was nice. He knew what he wanted. And I felt protected by him.
Mm-hmm.
I felt protected. I respected him. And I knew that.
And he poured you Pinot Noir.
No, actually, you know I don't drink hard liquor.
Yeah.
But he would drink martinis, and he would order me one. And I would sit there and hold the martini, and I always made sure this one place that we went to was near a potted plant. And when he wasn't looking, I would throw it out. And he thought he said, boy, you really can whoop those down and not get drunk.
Why didn't you just tell him you didn't like martinis?
I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So
let me get this straight.
So they
Dad-
were probably
Dad-
$8 a
Dad
glass.
kidnapped you.
Yes.
You had him order you 40 martinis a night. You didn't drink them.
No.
So the relationship was built on kidnapping and lies. And then you walked down the aisle 3 months pregnant.
Yep.
Like a whore.
So what?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I feel like when I try and tell people about y'all's relationship, I really do feel very blessed that I had a wonderfully transparent and positive example of love. Like y'all really, really adored each other.
Well, what happened was just before he moved me in, I went down to Rio de Janeiro.
Of course you went.
Yes, I went down to Rio, and you know me, Heather, I love a bargain. And they had the most adorable little kids' clothes. So, and I already told Dad, I said, I want to get married, have a family. And so I bought all these little kids' clothes that were adorable. So when I got back, Daddy picked me up at the airport, obviously. And I bought him a purse, too, because at the time men were walking around with man purses. And on our wedding day.
What did the purse look like?
It was black.
Did it go crossbody?
No.
Was it a shoulder bag?
No, it was a wrist bag.
Wait.
Heather, is what all the men wore. But on our wedding day, he had $1,000 in it that he left in the men's room, so he lost $1,000. But anyway, when he saw the kids' clothes, he said, well, aren't these cute? And he said, yeah, now we have to fill him up. And that's when he moved me in. Said, you're out of here. You belong to me now.
And that's when you got pregnant. So let me get this straight. You bought him a purse in Rio.
Yeah.
Showed him baby clothes.
Yeah.
And that was the magic ticket to get knocked up.
Well, I didn't get knocked up at his place.
Oh.
Then we got an apartment together.
Okay.
And it wasn't even a month.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought I had an incurable disease. And, I said, I must have eaten some clams or something because I'm sick as a dog. I threw up the moment he rolled over. So, yeah.
Okay. And then Ashley came into the world and then me.
Yep, then you.
Okay, great. So I'm glad. I just wanted to go down that old.
Yeah.
Listen, I've heard this story a billion times, but I didn't know that you bought Dad a wristlet purse to take to the club. And okay, all right, great. But you always had this sweet story about when you reached for the phone one night to call Dad.
Yes. When we first met. It was because we worked the late shift, and I think I got home like at midnight, and I was thinking about him. I said, well, should I call him? And he was at his apartment thinking, oh, I'd like to call him, but it's kind of late. And I just said, oh, screw it. And I called him. He said, I was just thinking about you. I think it was divine intervention.
Okay.
Well, Heather, you might want to tell the audience about when the ladder went through my windshield.
Why don't you tell them about it?
Well, Heather decided after Kyle passed that it was time for me to, was it It's Just Lunch or one of these places?
A dating service.
A dating service. And I was going to go meet the person. This is before I found out how much it cost. And when I found out how much it cost, it was $2,500. I said, really? And the lady said to me, and I can guarantee you 3 dates. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, point blank, I said, you know what? I bet I could hang a sign around my neck. Mm-hmm. Date me for $100, and I bet I can get 4 dates.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I was going to go meet this woman just to talk to her. And I walk out to the garage, and we had a ladder hanging on the wall. And the next thing you know, that ladder is through my windshield. That was Dad saying, you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
But you know what? If I died first, all men have a woman up there behind 5 days later.
Dad wouldn't have.
No,
Mom,
not.
if it was a situation.
No, Dad would have been your opening act.
Yeah, but if Dad would have been alive and you would have passed, first of all, I couldn't have lived with him because Dad, the amount of grieving that Dad would have done. No, Dad, yes, he only liked redheads, though. Remember when we found
We found what?
Dad there was some sort of like weather girl or news reporter.
Oh, yeah.
And she had red hair and she looked just like you.
Yeah.
And I remember Dad showing me, he was like, if your mom ever gets hit by a bus, I'm calling this woman.
Yeah.
I said, well, she looks just like Mom.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he was like, I was like, that's it? That's you're basically just, you're going for the exact same lookalike as Mom? He had a very specific type.
Yeah. Well, I do too.
Yeah. Tall, dark, and LeBron James. Period.
Tall, dark, and handsome.
All right. Listen, we could go down these stories, these sweet stories all day long, but I think maybe let's hear a little chaos, if you will, from some of our listeners. As always, you guys can call into the Absolutely Not line, 800-213-7503. Let's hear some voicemails now.
But before we do that, Heather, I just want to say you have the absolute best fans in the entire world.
I do. I know.
You really do.
Okay, great.
And I love them.
Let's get to the
ahead.
first voicemail.
Oh my gosh, Heather, I am in Times Square with my mother and my aunt and my cousin, and these 74-year-old boomers are going to drive me nuts. Mm-hmm. It has been 24 hours. She's already asked a person with an emotional support or support animal what their ailment was. I mean, just off of that in the airport. Then she proceeds to ask about the man's tattoo next to us and what it said and arguing with him about what it said. Mm-hmm. And then she proceeds to ask the guy in the airplane about his life. He says, oh, I'm in logistics transportation. I went to UTA, the local college. And she says, oh, so did you major in trucking? Like, I don't know. She's elder. I'm an elder millennial. She's an elder boomer. It's going to be a rough trip. Thought you'd understand. Love you, mean it. Bye.
Now, Mom, we are not here to shit on the boomers, but I don't think y'all realize, I mean, I say this in my new hour, stranger danger. y'all have no sense of questions you shouldn't ask. I don't know if y'all just, something happens over 60, you just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, why not?
Would you go up to somebody with an emotional support dog and ask them what their ailment was? Like, what's your handicap?
Maybe. Can I get you something to drink? Can I get you something to eat? No, I think we're very concerned for people.
Okay.
Remember when I gave the guy the $1 and I stuck it in his drink and I thought he was hungry?
We were standing outside at the Bowery Hotel. There was a wasted man, because there's actually a halfway house next door to the Bowery Hotel.
didn't know.
Who came out of the halfway house. They clearly were not serving coffee at the AA meeting. They were serving red wine. He came out. He had a coffee cup and it had wine in it. And Robin said he was drunk. And Robin goes, "You hungry? Put $1."
No, I put $5.
Oh, $5.
$5.
Plus $4. She put $5 in his cup, and he literally was like, "What the fuck, ma'am? That's my wine." And you were like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were hungry." I'm like,
Yeah.
"This is Robin
Yeah.
in New York." What is it? What is it about your generation that you think is special?
I don't think it's special, Heather, but I do think, I think the younger generation cares, but I'm a fixer. I want to fix it. You're hungry, I'm going to give you something to eat. What can I do to make it better? If you're an ass, you're an ass.
Do you think you actually go out into the world every day with peanut butter sandwiches and your fake EMMYS Birkin, passing them out to the homeless?
No, but if I saw somebody who looked like they were hungry, I'm going to go in and buy them a sandwich.
Yeah, same. Okay. All right. It's just sometimes I think it's more about the travel. For somebody who's traveled the world, you get so anxious before a trip. It's crazy.
I get excited.
Yes, but I always have to rephrase that in my brain. Sometimes,
Yeah.
when I feel like I'm getting a little anxious, I have to say I'm actually excited.
You're right.
But I know when Robin's ready for a trip, you start packing a month beforehand. You make me look at your outfits that I know you will not wear the entire trip. You start bouncing up and down on your tiptoes like a kid with undeveloped calves. Okay?
That's actually good for you.
Yeah, okay. Well, you start doing your calf workout.
Yeah, I
and
do
you
my
start,
calf
You start
workout.
bouncing, and then you have to go to the gate and touch the gate, see where the gate is. Even if we're in the Sky Club, we could get to the Sky Club at 1. Flight takes off at 6 p.m. and by 1:15, you're like, "We got to go to the gate." Why is
That's
that?
not true. I don't know. I think I get excited. I want to get there. Yeah.
But I've also told you, Mom, I don't know why you buy for a woman
Who worked for the airlines for 20 years, you'd think I'd be a little, I still get excited about it. I love going to the airport.
But also at your age, why you are cheap and buy the cheapest ticket on a flight,
Heather,
I don't understand.
That I do not do. So I don't buy first class all the time. I always get an aisle seat.
But I got you an aisle and upgraded you, and then you were pissed and said you wanted a window.
I wanted a window because I couldn't lean on the guy next to me to fall asleep because I was flying to Europe.
Maybe if you did.
If you saw him, Heather, you would know why I didn't want to lean on him.
Okay.
Okay.
So listen, doll, I hear you. There is no greater fear than having a boomer in Times Square. That is, I could write a whole manifesto about that.
Why not be nice to people?
Mom,
Why
no
not
one is saying not be
All
nice,
right.
but you guys, next thing you know, you're getting panhandled and you're buying a fake Louis Vuitton and the cops are chasing you down Canal Street. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Are they still selling the fake
Oh,
Louis?
yeah, they don't even care anymore.
Oh.
All right, let's get to the next voicemail.
right.
Hello, Heather. This is Jillian from Sacramento, California. I'm very excited to see you when you come to Sacramento in the fall. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm calling because everyone loves your storytelling. You're a fabulous storyteller. And I was going to maybe give a prompt for a story because we all know what Heather is like when it comes to summer Heather. Now that she is in her 30s, we know that she is hitting the Amalfi Coast. We know she's heading to Portugal, things like that. I was wondering if you could tell us about what summer was like growing up at Chateau McMahan. Maybe if you were hitting a country club with Robin. You mentioned going to theater camp. I think you mentioned surf camp. Maybe what summer was like, what classic summer day at Chateau McMahan for little Heather. Okay. Love and light. Thanks so much. Bye.
Love and light. Great prompt. I will, first and foremost, also shout out to the city of Sacramento. Little housekeeping rule real quick. If you got a notification that the show is canceled in Sacramento, here's the situation. The venue can no longer accommodate us, so we're looking for a new venue. So that's why it technically is canceled. We believe that we have another venue for that same night. So you're going to have to get a refund from that venue on your ticket, but hang tight. Don't change your travel plans just yet. I'll update you guys as soon as possible. But in true Sacramento fashion, Sacramento did what Sacramento does and kept things a little sketchy. So we are just waiting to confirm the new venue because the other venue can no longer accommodate us. So it is not that I am not coming to Sacramento. We just had a problem with the venue. So hang tight. I love performing in Sacramento, one of my favorite cities to perform in, but hang tight. We might be doing it in front of the Capitol because I don't know what the hell is going on. But back to answering your question. Mom, okay. Yeah, what do you want to say?
I can tell you right off the back. You want to know about Heather when she was young? First of all, it was chicken fingers and French fries.
Yeah.
And virgin pina coladas. Being a member of the country club, we would have a bill in the summertime that would go from $600 a month to $4,000. And one day I got the bill and I said, "Holy crap! There's 200 pina coladas on here. I don't even drink pina coladas."
No hard liquor.
Yeah, no hard liquor. So I had to confront the club, and they, instead of charging for a virgin pina colada, they charged for a regular pina colada. So I had to get that taken care of.
Okay.
And Heather was very generous with all her friends, even if she didn't know you. She was like me. "Oh, do you want a pina colada? You can have one. Chicken fingers and French fries for everybody."
My biggest fear to this day is somebody us not having enough food.
Yes.
And somebody going hungry in the group.
Yes.
That's my biggest fear.
Yes.
Somebody being like, "I didn't get enough to eat," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's why I over order all the time because
Yes,
it's a
you
fear
do.
of mine."
Yes, you do.
Okay. Yes. So we would let's start elementary. Elementary, we would get dropped off at 7 a.m. for swim team, and you would pick us up around 9 p.m. when they were actively sweeping us out of the pool area.
No, it wasn't that
No,
late.
you did, Mom. You would drop us off in the Saab, and I could be over by the diving boards, which are on the far end, as far away from the entrance and exit of the club pool as possible. But I would hear my mom backfiring, driving our manual
Yes.
shifted. She's shifting down into first gear, trying to make the turn, like plowing through the gates in our little Sheba, our Saab, our 19.
I love that song.
It was a 1984 Saab, right?
1984.
You got it the year Ashley was born.
Yep.
And I could hear it be like, and the sunroof would be open.
Yep.
And I would hear you blasting like Shania Twain or something ridiculous.
right.
And I would
Or show tunes.
or show tunes from a cassette, and I would say, "My mom's here to pick
Yep.
us up." I could hear the Saab coming down the highway.
Let me tell them why you were such a good swimmer. Because when Heather was learning how to swim, you know how they taught her to swim? They said, "Heather, when you have to reach this way, just think, reach for the cookie, Heather. Reach for the cookie." So Heather was a good swimmer. And was it the breaststroke that you were really good at? Because you were reaching for two at the same time.
It was the
butterfly, yeah.
I would do dude, I could short sprint the butterfly.
Yes, you could.
I guarantee you, with no training, I was so good at the butterfly,
Yes,
but
you were.
only for a 50-yard dash.
Yeah.
Right? Is it
It's
50
50
meters? Yards? What is it?
Meters, yeah.
I could do 50 meters. I was great in a relay.
Yes, you
I
were.
cannot go 51 meters, 50.5,
Right.
50.1. Can't go
Right.
further than 50. But I could do 50 meters in a butterfly. I could have a full barbecue sandwich in one hand. And they could say, "Heather, tap in, lane 8." And I could throw half the sandwich
Yep.
to a friend
Right. Who would hold it?
who would
Well,
hold it. I could strap on a ball. Well, I never took my cap off. I was the fat kid, running around
Yes.
the pool deck with the barbecue sandwich in one hand and the hat on, being like, "Guys, who wants pina coladas?" And I wonder why
Yeah.
none of the older lifeguards ever looked at me. That was the thing. When you were on swim team and you were like 7, there was always like a 15-year-old lifeguard that all the girls, you're just trying to flirt, and everybody had a crush on. Innocent.
Right.
And we never understood why they wouldn't give us the time of day. It's because I would have barbecue sauce
all over you.
dripping down my Speedo.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would dive in the pool, hit the 50-yard dash, get out, grab the sandwich, and finish it.
Yes, you would.
But the summer loving had me a blast.
And when you played golf, Heather, when you got a little older and you played golf, you were really good.
Summers usually consisted of I would do swim team in the morning, then at 1 I would have to shower, put on a pair of duck head khakis, then go out for my golf lesson. I'd have to play 9 holes of golf, then we'd go back that night for a swim meet.
Yes.
I was basically a fully trained professional athlete.
Yeah, you were.
Did not have the body of an athlete. Mom, I was the only kid on swim team who was actually had a BMI of 100.
You weren't that fat, Heather. You were just a little. You were big. You were strong. I am strong. I am confident. I am Heather. Pina coladas for everybody. Chicken fingers for the pool. Daddy would say, how does our bill go from 400 to 4,000?
And he'd look over at me and I'd be like, just licking the honey mustard off my fingers.
Yes. Yeah.
I was always so jealous of the tennis girls because I played such a masculine sport. And nowadays there's tons of women in golf. But at my age, I was like, there was like 4 girls that played golf at our club. Right. And so all the cool girls, they, after swim team or dive team, the real cool girls did swim and dive. But I was not playing with that. I remember jumping off the high dive and doing a pencil dive, and somebody was doing like a quadruple flip next to me. And I was thinking, she's about a 1/4 inch from breaking her neck on the cement. This bitch is foolish.
Right.
This bitch is foolish.
Heather used to jump off the high dive and do a cannonball. And everybody would be splashed. Oh, no, here she comes. And meanwhile, Ashley was so little, she would just dink, dink. Yeah. That's all right, poor Ashley.
But after swim team, the cool girls would go to dive team, and then the other cool girls would go to tennis. And I would come out of the
with your duck head shorts and your little shirt.
And I would still have my swim cap on because, you know what I mean. It was too difficult to get off. Right. My hands were too greasy. And I would be carrying a giant men's, not a child size, a men's size golf bag and huffing and puffing. And it would be 700 degrees out.
Right.
And Daddy would be making me do drills.
Yeah. But you were pretty good. I mean, you were a good golfer until your boobs came in.
Yeah, I have trophies. Yeah. So that was elementary. Then my sister and I would go to this special theater camp called Atlanta Workshop Players, which I do believe is now defunct.
Why?
Well, I think the guy was, Tina, can we get a Google? I believe the people who were running the camp, which I always thought there was something shady about them. It's up and running? Oh, it has a 4.7. It was a great camp. Yes. I had heard that they'd gotten in a little hot water. Change management, maybe. Change hands. Yeah. One of the best camps ever.
You got Camper of the Year there.
I did. I got Camper of the Year, and I got free tuition the next year.
Yes.
I also got Camper of the Year at surf camp. So I just want to say, I was pretty great at camp.
Yeah, you were a good kid.
And I'm not a camp kid. I'm not one of those kids who there's a difference in outdoor camp kids and then I think theater kids or very niche camps. Yeah. Like everybody here goes to High Harbor and all these different outdoor camps where they're kayaking and they're, doing s'mores. I didn't fuck with that. The last thing I need is to be covered in DEET mosquito spray.
But the one thing about you, Heather, which I have to brag on you always cared about anybody else. Like I said, pina coladas and chicken fingers and fries for everybody.
I told this last week, though, or a couple weeks ago on the pod, there was nothing more exciting than when Ashley and I would go to theater camp. And it was at a university called Oglethorpe University.
Oglethorpe, right.
10 minutes from our house. Okay, you were down the street. And she would have a giant blue trunk, and I'd have a red trunk. And we would put stickers on the outside of the trunk, and we put our, our bed in a bag, for our twin set.
Right.
And we would pack all of our snacks and our goodies. And Dad would carry the big trunk, and we'd stay in the dorms at Oglethorpe. And it was so much fun. And we'd take dance class and tap dancing. And you know why I got Camper of the Year? Because I took an African dance class.
Yes, and you were good.
I was good. You want to know why?
Why?
I moved from the spirit.
Oh.
I felt that somewhere in our lineage, you like tall, dark, and handsome. Somewhere in our lineage, we got a third cousin from Ghana, and I was channeling that energy.
Okay.
But they also said they had never seen a fatter child go so hard in the paint for African dance.
Right.
So we would go, but remember the first night at camp, wherever I was, I'd always call you and say I'm homesick?
Yes.
And what would you tell me?
You're going to be fine, Heather. You're going to be fine. I love you. You're fine. If you really hate it, I'll come and get you. Please, God, let her stay there.
No, you used to say it's an adventure.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything was an adventure.
Yeah, when you're drunk on pina coladas, life's an adventure.
Do you remember the time Ashley tied you to? Ashley and Heather would put on plays at the house, and Ashley tied you with a rope to the doorknob, and she was pushing the. I said, "What is she going to do? Heather's going to knock down the damn door." And Ashley said, "Mom, watch. She can fly."
She would open the door
Yeah.
very quickly, and I would go
Kinda move.
flailing.
Yeah,
kind of
flailing.
move. I was like a rock. I don't know what
Yeah.
she was trying to do.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of elementary into junior high. And then in high school, I started going to surf camp. My parents did no research on the surf camp. They, for such an overprotective father as we had, he really let me spread my wings and fly all the
Yeah.
way to Los Angeles. And I would go to surf camp. The reason I went is Blue Crush had just come out. That was my favorite movie. I was having a real
And wasn't Cammie out there at the time?
yeah, I was having a real Roxy Quicksilver Hollister moment. You know, the puka shell necklace. Everyone's got the short frayed skirt on.
You were a lot thinner that summer. You were thinner that summer. I'm not fat shaming you, Heather, but you had a growth spurt.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I was just thinking. In my mind, I saw a picture of you with the necklace, and
It wasn't choking my neck out?
yeah, wasn't choking you.
Yes, Mom. I was like 15. I had hit a growth spurt.
Yes.
My boobs hadn't come in just yet. Yeah, I was
They were on
tall
the
and
way.
thinner.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would go out there because my friend Cammie, who's the co-founder of Show Me Your Moo, she went out. She's a year older than me. She went out. And then our other friend Shiloh and our buddy Kyle, we all
Yeah.
decided to go out together. And I would go every summer. And it was the freaking best.
Yeah.
We would sleep in a tent in a trailer park in Mission Bay, California. It's down in San Diego. And we would get up every day. And then we would, shred the gnar.
Yeah, and you
And
were pretty good at it.
I was pretty good. I was a good longboarder. Cannot shortboard, but I was a good longboarder. And then and then I would go back the other 2 summers and I was a counselor.
Right.
And I would load the surfboards up. I mean, I've lived 1,000 lives. That's the thing. I've lived a lot of lives. I always like to dabble into, that's why I like to do character studies because I want to know what everybody else is up to.
Right.
But I had
You didn't want to miss anything.
I didn't want to miss anything. The FOMO was so real. Yeah, but that was we were hanging out with some of the top surfers in the world. Kelly Slater, Rob Machado, all the number one surfers in the world
Wow, I
were
didn't-
at this camp just popping in to like smoke a cigarette, play the guitar around the fire, have a beer, and then we'd all like shred the gnar together. And I met some of my best friends who were all Jewish kids from the Upper East Side, really rich Jewish kids from the Upper East Side in New York. And remember Ari and Max
Yes,
and Daniel? And then I would go visit them in New York and they would all have 16 tutors. They were studying 4 different languages.
You're right.
They were all studying because they had to, have really good scores on their SATs because they ended up going to Harvard and Cornell. Okay? All my Jewish friends from New York. And I would show up and they're like, don't you do tutoring in the summer? I was like, fuck no.
No.
I'm getting fucked up at the club. And that is why I went to Ole Miss.
Hey, Heather, you did fine at Ole Miss.
I did great. I thrived.
Yeah, you did fine.
What were your summers like growing up, Mom? Sad.
Sad. They were interesting. Yeah. We don't want to go down that road.
Okay.
It was sad.
How about your summers when you were single and you were out of your tumultuous your childhood home?
I was working for the airlines. I had a ball. I would fly all over the place.
What's one of your favorite places that you ever flew to? You've been all over the world. That's
I've
the
been
thing.
all over, so I'm trying to think. I'd have to say Spain. I loved Spain.
I think this is.
I would say Sitges, which
Ooh.
is Sitges.
Where's that?
That's on the coast of Spain.
Okay.
And when I went 100 years ago, you could rent, you could rent a house for $5 a day with a maid and breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it's, probably a lot. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal. I think, because I've been feeling it in my bones,
Okay.
I think Spain's calling.
I think it could be, Heather.
The men, now it is a little bit of a, they have the thicker accent, the Castilian Spanish.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hard to understand, possibly. I feel like you Daddy spoke Spanish, but he
Yes.
spoke like Southern Spanish.
He spoke "Te necesito mucho." It's like "Te necesito mucho, mi amor."
Oh, period.
Yeah.
Period. You're going to get it.
I get it.
So I think what we need to do, Mom, is I really mean this. Let's do a bucket list trip.
Yes.
You and I can go. I'll be your wing woman. I'll be as hands-on. I'll be as protective as you want me to be, or I'll just sit back, smoke a cigarette, have a glass of Vino Verde, and watch it go down. I think you need to go on a dick hunting trip in Spain.
Oh, God.
Come on, let's just call it what it is. Well, can't you go on like Match or there's got to be like
Heather.
Spaniard Love, SpanishLove.net. Why don't we
Yeah.
just specifically try and take you to
But
Spain?
you have to speak a little English.
A lot of them do, Mom.
Yeah, you speak
and you
it.
speak it, Mom. If you
I
really
can
try,
understand.
you can understand.
Actually, I want to tell you something. I could understand Portuguese. I don't know why. It's a little similar to Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
but I could read every single sign, and I could understand. I mean, everybody speaks English, but I could understand when they were speaking Portuguese.
We've
for
always
some
been good with
reason.
language.
Yes.
Well, Robin, I'm surprised you could read Portuguese with your egg hat on and your cowlick in your face. I'm just saying, I think that we need to go full circle and maybe we do a little trip,
Maybe. Yeah.
mommy-daughter trip.
Yeah, let's do it.
No boys allowed. And we go see if we can find you some. Maybe LeBron James is sitting at a bar right now, having a gorgeous glass of wine, waiting for you.
Maybe.
Maybe. So you
Instead
heard it
he's
here
hiding.
first. Well, he can't hide. He's
Yeah.
like 7'11". So you heard it here first. Robin is going to end up with LeBron James once he retires. They will meet in San Sebastian, Spain, and they'll rent a house for $5 a day. Robin, thank you for being here. I love having you here. What do you want to leave our audience knowing?
I just want to say to your audience that they're the best. Be good to your mother. You know, listen to her. I know we can be a little annoying, but we love you. We always have your back.
That is true.
And I want to say, always, always, every time I get on my Instagram, always put God 1st. Let's lift each other up. Even if you don't like the person, maybe they have nice shoes on. And don't give a rat's ass what your hair looks like, because believe it or not, nobody else does.
Okay, I'm going to just stop you right there.
What?
You can just say lift each other up, but if you don't like the person, you don't have to kiss their ass.
Yeah, I didn't say you had to kiss their ass.
You said if you don't like the person,
If you don't
maybe they have
like
nice shoes on.
Maybe
Who-
they have nice shoes on.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, don't hold a grudge. That's what I'm saying. Life's too short.
Lifting someone up and not holding a grudge, two different things.
All right, well, that's what I meant.
There are plenty of people that are trolls on the internet.
Yeah, there are
that are
some
not
idiots.
lifting me up, and I'm not lifting them up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But try and be nice. Let's try and be nice to each other.
Well, you look in the mirror, bitch.
Jonathan Van Ness just said, wait a minute, I just want to say one quick thing.
JVN, who's a friend?
JVN said something the other day. He said, let's be nice to each other. And I thought, I want to hug him.
Well, Mom, he is a friend, so
Yeah.
you have hugged him before. You've met him.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No, I really didn't, but I like him.
okay.
And he just said, let's be nice to each other.
Okay.
Let's try and be nice to each other.
All right. So, any last words?
Have a great day.
Have a great day. We love it. As always, you can call into the hotline 800-213-7503. I have really enjoyed getting back to the voicemails and chit-chatting with you guys. That's the best part of my week. So please call in with your summer absolutely nots, your summer absolutely yeses, and any questions that you have. We should get back to Heather's Hot Takes too. That's a segment that we're definitely going to bring back. In the meantime, between time, follow Robin at The Red Contemporary.
Yes.
I've got to hire a new intern to take over her social media account because I can't do everything. So we are going to get her back in the art scene, and the next thing you know, she's going to be hooking up with LeBron James in the northern or southern coast of Spain, painting naked. Can't wait for that. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Ciao, Bella. Arrivederci. Bye.
Arrivederci. Bye.